So C will be controlling the field. So the safety car is not in the race at the moment. That's something that needs to be resolved. Okay, quick restart. This is already going wrong. Hi Marquito, hi Fem. Okay, so the starting grid is C, Erzunik, Frost, Power, Lager. I think they are settling it well. Yeah, Lager is in the back, I'm pretty sure. So I'll pull off here. This is where I made a mistake last time I hosted this session. Now I go to spec, and from now C is in control. Erzu has crashed. And it's going. Fatslag wasn't in again. Yeah. I'm a good host, by the way. Don't let this fool you. Okay, so this is the real thing now. C is gonna start first. Then Erzu, Nick, and in the second half, Frost, who I'm pretty sure has made a mistake in the qualifying. Because he's good on this track, so I think he has the ability to catch back up. And the last two are Powerade and Lager. This is where the safety car pulls off. Oh, Lager crashes. Oh, okay, that was unfortunate, but it seems like C is gonna go now. Lager is a bit behind. So the first start isn't going that great, but it seems like the drivers got away, which is definitely something. So C is leading Ersu and Nick into the second half of the first lap, which is basically the second lap in the race. Ersu hits the curb very badly and rolls over, and in the meantime Frost overtakes Nick in that same turn. So now Erzu has fallen behind. Powerade has probably made a mistake as well, because he is 20 meters off from Lager. C is leading Frost, and this could be an interesting battle, the battle to watch. I'm gonna open chat on my phone. So C makes the turn, Frost makes the turn, Nick is also quite close. Oh, and Frost is already on the inside of C, because C made a mistake there, but they are quite close. And it seems like Frost is getting that first place, at least for now. This is the feature race. The feature race is the one for which they qualified, and they are starting in order of their qualifying times. The next one will be the sprint race, so if Frost wins, he's gonna be starting in the back on that, but also they're gonna be getting less points in the sprint race, so the feature race is more important. And C might be fighting for that. I mean, he should put in a fight regardless, and he will, because they are coming in with a competitive mindset, of course. Behind them, Nick and Erzu. There's only like 15 meters between them. I think Erzu made one mistake in the first racing lap, and he hasn't been able to catch back up. But he's still fairly close, so I wouldn't write him off in this race from the podium. Behind them, Lager is 20 meters ahead of Powerade. So as it stands, Powerade will be on pole for the next race. Nick and Erzu are playing a bit of a ping pong match here, because the gap increases and decreases every once in a while. And I think the same might be happening between Frost and C, although Frost is pulling away. He's doing a 26.9, yeah, this lap was quite strong for him. C's best one is 27.1. If I can quickly look at the quali times, C had pole with a 27.4, 49, so I mean a 490, because 27.49. So even C has beaten that by 0.3, and he now did a 26.8, but Frost also did that. So Frost can match C's pace, and C has crashed, so now Nick is up to second. It's lap 9 out of 13. They still have 4 laps to go. Bit more than 4 actually. And it seems like C and Nick do have similar paces. This is probably the battle to watch, and Erzu's not far off either, so if one of them makes a mistake, Erzu could be the beneficial third party. It does seem like Nick picked up the pace a bit, and C's 26.8 might have been a one-off. Let's see what their laps are this time. Frost isn't that far either, but he did a 28. I think he made a mistake in that lap. C did get closer in those final turns. So it's between C and Nick for second, I think. There's less than 3 laps to go. They're both running just a bit wide, at least from what I'm seeing. Nick hits the curb, oh, and C hits him further. So now it's back to third for Nick. And he might be falling into the hands of Erzu. Hong's pronunciation of that name is kind of showing me off. Regardless, Nick is running third, and it's only 7 meters between the two of them. So if Erzu gets a good last lap, because there's only 1 lap to go, as soon as they cross the line, Frost is probably getting away with this. Erzu might need to risk it all, because it's not that far. And Lager is 60 meters behind, in the middle of nowhere, by the way. But this means that Erzu could have risked a bit more. Maybe he did risk and he just didn't get a good enough time with that. 26.9. Actually, Nick was also fast in that lap, I guess. And it's Lager gonna be 5th. Powerade gonna be 6th. You can see the grid up there. So Powerade and Lager are gonna be the first two. Erzu, who just missed out on the podium in the first race, is gonna be starting third. So I guess that might be something that could... what's the correct word for it? I don't know. Regardless, the safety car is about to head into the pit lane, and it's gonna be Powerade who controls the field. And I think he's going. So the race is on, and they got off to a really clean start compared to the previous race. Powerade is keeping the lead so far. It's gonna be interesting to see if Frost and C can fight their way back. And also Nick, who showed some pace in terms of lap times. Lager is already falling behind. Seems like he's not gonna be fighting too aggressively here. He's a man of consistency. Oh, and Nick spins in the final turn and gets shuffled out of the track. Someone pushed him. It might have been C, I'm not sure. Powerade still leading. How long can he hold it though? Frost is already up to third. In the meantime, Lager fell back to 5th. Erzu is kind of already on the rear bumper of Powerade. How well can he defend? Oh, he's running wide into turn 1, and this is an opportunity for Erzu. He's gonna do an over-under, not much of an over-under. Powerade ran wide again. That was not part of a plan by Erzu, I think. They are still fighting, and that's good for Frost, who's right behind. And there's a passive power raid, but Frost immediately follows him. Oh, he tried a bit of a dive bomb there, and that didn't turn out that good. So now Frost is down in fourth, and C heads to the lead. This changes a lot in this race. That small mistake by Frost, allowing C to like overtake 3 cars in 1 or 2 turns. C is still in the lead. Powerade is holding second for now, but Frost is right behind, and this time he makes the pass without mistake. So it's C and Frost in the lead again. Can Frost catch C? There's a bit more than 2 laps. From the first race, it seems like Frost's long-term pace is better. And a bit better on, he's a bit better on 1 lap, I think. But oh! C will be doing everything to keep that first place. However, Frost is really close, and he looks faster as well. So far, C managed to hold him off. In the meantime, Erzu got up into third. 1 lap to go, not even a whole lap. C is banging the wall there, unintentionally. Of course, he made a mistake. There's Frost has like 1 or 2 opportunities on this track still, unless C crashes. There's 2 U-turns. If he does this one well, whoa, they both crash. Erzu's gonna jump into the lead. Powerade is right behind. What's Powerade gonna do? Frost pushes C. They both crashed out, and Erzu wins the race. Frost gets second. C, who started the whole crash, gets third from first in 2 turns. This really fell into the hands of Erzu. He really got lucky there. But wow, that was intense. So the longer feature race is coming up on LS Tama B. The track is a bit longer time-wise compared to Keitune, so it's a bit less laps. Safety car is starting on front row, that's fortunate. Because of this being a longer track, this also means that the formation lap will be longer. So where does the safety car exit? I'm still not sure about that. I guess I can just pull off here. That works. So Frost is gonna be controlling the field, and it seems like it's going. It's go, go, go! So he gets up to a decent start. C almost attacked him in turn 1, but it seems like it was either a dive bomb or just a late break and a small mistake. Erzu's running third. It seems like he's decent on this track based on the qualifiers. And Lager is definitely better here compared to Keitune. Although in the second race he did not get lost, but I think pace-wise Lager can do better than that. And Nick is wall banging the last turn. Alright. So C gets the lead. Oh, okay, I missed that. C is in the lead. Frost is now second. We're gonna be riding with Frost here. They're separated by 2 meters. C is running wide onto the grass, and that means Frost is gonna have a better angle for the next turn. Can he do an over-under? Yes, he can! I'm not sure if he pushed C, right? No one wants to become famous here because famous is already famous, and yeah, wait. Bye bye. So, Frost is leading, see? But they are still very close. See, I think got confused by the way Frost was taking that turn. It certainly looked like that. Anyway, Frost is now 5 meters ahead. Nick is closer to C at this point, although Frost had a few bad turns there. C is running onto the grass again. One has to wonder if he's doing it intentionally at this point. Like, I'm pretty sure C is not a fan of wall riding and all that, so I don't think he's doing it intentionally. But he might have a weird line in the previous turns there, and he can't make that left-hander. However, he's 1 meter behind Frost, so this is all but done, and C had a better turn here. Let's see how they do these turns. C has way better lines. He's running onto the grass again. Oh, Frost is gonna be hitting the inside curve, but C gets an X. And that means he's falling down into third. He cut the turn just a little bit. And that puts him out of the contention, at least for now. Frost is gonna be touching the curb. If there's one thing that's a bit of a killer on this track, that can be the curbs, because they're quite bumpy. And I think Frost touched it there. It didn't look like he touched it, but it spun just like a car that would have touched it. So Nick is leading by 20 meters. C is in third. Lager is fourth. Yep, he's having a stronger race here so far compared to Keitune. Especially race 1. As has fallen down to 5th, it seems like he does not have the race pace. But it also means he'll be starting second in the next race. So we'll see how that can play out. It's 2 laps to go. Nick is leading easily, but he runs into the curb here. So now Frost is right behind him, and the C is not far either. The fight is on. C is running tight. He almost touched the curbs there, but he did not. I think he knows this track quite well. His lines are better than Frost and Nick's. He touches the curb, slides a bit, but managed to catch it this time and not lose much time. He did lose a bit. Oh, he's running wide there. Not a big loss again. But there's only 1 lap left. Erzo is a bit close to Lager in the meantime. But we'll be focusing on this battle because it's for a podium position and for more points. Although I won't even be talking about points in the stream. Anyway, Frost is second and there's 2 turns left. Unless Nick makes a huge mistake or pulls an Amma. Okay, he rides the final turn. He's gonna win and Frost and C follow. Power 8 finishes last, but now he has a pole. I guess I can also honk at Power 8 to let him know. Okay, he's already starting the race. So Nick gets a bit of a bad start because of this. Power 8 started very early and that might have caught some people off guard, but Ersu has already overtaken him. Okay. Can he get back to him? Power 8 might not be that strong on this track. He held strong on Keitune. We'll see if he can also do that here. He's running a bit wide there and C is already right behind Lager. Ersu might have a bit of a chance to pull away if Power 8 can hold up. the faster drivers in the back. C passes Lager, but it's still not past Lager. Still not past Powerade. That's a very good sentence right there. And Frost is behind Lager now. It seems like C is putting the move on Powerade already, so he's already running second. He's running onto the grass again. Frost is still struggling with Lager. Oh, that's a bit of a push to the side. Frost touches the curb on the entrance and he almost spins. Well, he does slide and it's still quite a big loss. C is running second though after passing Powerade on the inside. And Erzu is 8 meters ahead, but from race 1, C should be faster. However, the race is not long, it's the sprint race. So we'll see if C can pass. It still sounds weird, C if C. Anyway, Erzu still ahead with 2 to go. It doesn't seem like C is catching up that fast. In the meantime, Frost and Nick are fighting for third. It would be nice if we could like spectate 2 battles at the same time, but that technology isn't here yet. C is still like 4 to 5 meters behind Erzu. Oh, Nick wallbanging is not gonna give him that spot now. Frost knows that he wallbanged, so I think he uses that to defend. And C is also really close to Erzu in the front. He tries the inside, but Erzu blocks the move. There's 2 U-turns left. Both of them could be overtaking opportunities. Erzu tries the over-under. There's still a 1 turn left. C is protecting the inside. That's really nice defending right there. Nick is gonna go for the wall bang. I think he's lead off a bit, and that's why Frost gets third. Okay, that was another quite intense finish. Okay. Do I pull off into the pit after the last then? Because like it's optimal for the leader to start the race before the finish line. Like that would be the goal. And that doesn't leave much room. I guess I'll just do that here. As is already going, I think. Oh, Nick spins on the curb in the final turn. Frost meanwhile passed C. There's no rules against overtaking before the finish line. Because if a driver... The reason that is not implemented is that if a driver has a bad start, then everyone behind him gets a worse one because of that. And it's kind of a chain reaction. Regardless, Erzu is 5 meters ahead. He started the race real quick, just like Powerade. See, he gained like 2 meters in that turn. He did that way better, and he's gonna drive very much on the inside. That turn is a bit of a... It's a bit tighter than... Wow. So that turn is tighter than you'd expect, I think. It has a bit of an easier big entrance. But on the exit, you might run wide. Erzu hits the curb in a weird way. He might have hit the inside, but lag. And now he's fallen back to last. Wow. So it's Frost and C again for the lead in the feature race. Honestly, the battle I'd have expected going into the session. But Erzu's still keeping up in most tracks. Like, this time it's not pace that's keeping him back. He made a mistake. A big one at that. And he's also making a mistake here. He's running wide. And he also had a bad entry for the next turn because of this. Now Frost is on the outside. He's trying to defend on the inside. They're having the chicanes here. And it seems like Frost is going past. He goes too far to the inside. I think he clipped the inside of the curb. At least it looked like that. Lager is running third and not that far back. And I should turn on do not disturb. My bad. So. Oh, he's running very wide there. He didn't lose that much because he kept the throttle down. It's just that he still lost a bit of time and he almost spun because of the grass. Even if it's not that slippery on these tracks. Lager is third, Nick is fourth. In the meantime, Erzo passed Powerade, so he's now running fifth. However, they're still fairly close. Erzo's lacking and Nick made a mistake on the curve there. Okay, I saw two crashes happen at the same time. But it turns out that Erzo's been having some internet issues. It seems like he's still going though and he's not missing on the radar either. Nick made another mistake here. On another note, it seems like the gap in the front has kind of stabilized. So it's now down to one of them to make a mistake. Well, it's safe. And Lager is now running second, his best running position. Well, it ran in better positions before. However, those were because of the starting grid and the reverse grid. He's running quite nice in this race though. Even if his best lap is zero point 0.2 worse than C and zero point 0.4 worse than Frost. He's running ahead of C because of the consistency. However, she is right behind. So let's see if C can bounce back in these final laps. In fact, there's one lap to go in the race. So C will try to pass Lager here. He didn't go too deep. He was fair enough to Lager. And I mean, it's not against the rules, but this is the clean way of fighting. There's the chicane. Can C somehow cut over? There's one turn left. I don't think he can pass that. Yeah, C tried his best. Tried everything. Can Erzu get there? No. He was too far back. I thought Erzu might have a chance, but the post notes probably got confused from C spinning onto the grass. Nick is finishing in the pit lane. He even had to pit at the end, so that's an unfortunate race for him, but he's gonna be starting on pole in the reverse grid race. So Nick is gonna be starting in the front. Behind him are Powerade and Erzu. Erzu who had a decent qualifying time, so I think he has chances in this race. But also Nick is a good racer, so if he can be at least a bit consistent, he could win this race, I'd say. So now it's up to Nick to start the race. Oh, he runs up onto the curb. That confused a lot of people behind. But the race managed to get underway somehow. It seems like there's no position change either, so that's a miracle that the race started, I'd say. But it is on, and Nick is already 6 meters ahead. As you can see, and as I said, Nick has pace. And C is already past Powerade. Okay, I was gonna say that Powerade might be able to hold C up a bit, but no, C is already past. So there's nothing between Nick and C now, and C did good in the first race, apart from a few mistakes. But this is shorter, so consistency... Well, you can throw out consistency on the window, and C almost did that. He somehow slid into Powerade, who was stable enough. Was it Powerade? Because now it's Erso behind. I'm not sure. Regardless, C almost spun, but managed to get back in the race using another car. and he's still second, but it's already lap 4 out of 6. So Nick is in a good spot. That's all I can say for now. I don't want to jinx anything. And C did gain a bit in this lap. Let's see what their times will be. Nick has like a 30.6 while C had a 30.3. And there's less than a second between them and 2 laps to go. But can C keep up the pace? And can Nick increase it? Because he already did a 30.4 in the previous lap. Erzu on the other end is right behind Frost. And Lager is 5th. Bavare to start it second, I believe, is having a bad race at the moment. There's 1 to go, and she did not get a lot closer to Nick in that lap. But I don't think it's over just yet. Because C might have a bit better turn here. Yeah, that's one of those turns that are key. And the chicane is where it gets decided. C is in the same position as last time, except this time he makes the pass. And it's the final turn, unless he messes it up. No, he's going safer this time. Nick is finishing in the pit lane again, doesn't matter. C is gonna win. And he made the pass in the chicane almost at the end of the race. And the reason this race could be interesting is because this is probably the easiest track out of them all. I'll quickly check. I wanted to declare that because it's important information for the drivers, especially Erso, I think. Oh, Erso is already going. Okay, that's a quick start. But the race is underway. Let me quickly check something. Yeah, it seems like volumes are still good. So, Erso is running first so far from pole. Which means he is decent on this track based on qualifying. Although that's 1 lap, so that's no long-term runs or anything like that. Lager and Frost are fighting for third. It's a bit hard to overtake here because there's no slower or that hard section on the track. Ooh, Erso is sliding around a bit. C and Lager touch the wall a bit. I don't think they intended to, because of the agreement. And also, yeah, that wall is not wall bangable anyway. That's not beneficial, so that doesn't matter. Frost is catching up a bit. He has the best lap so far out of the 3 of them. Nick seems to have made a mistake. Yeah, this track is about consistency. The most. Oh, Ersu crashed from the lead. And did he return into Powerade? He might have had a bit of an unsafe rejoin there. But this means that Frost and C are fighting for the lead again. And C is ahead this time. So far. But it's only lap 5 out of 12. And as I've mentioned, consistency is important. Because one mistake and the other person can go safe for the rest. Frost did a bit of a wallbang. I think they are used to wallbanging it. And that's why they are doing it. It's muscle memory at work. Oh wow, the fat slug can be heard from the base, the disconnected fat slug. I think Frost pace is a bit better, but only by like 100 or less milliseconds. He did touch the wall again. Oh, he had a bad turn here. He went up the inside too far, but he touched the wall in the final turn. So it's 2 meters. 6 laps to go. How are they gonna do the turn this time? This is the most crucial part of the track. Oh, Frost hit the curb and it helped him turn. So now he's on C's rear bumper. I don't think he can pull off an overtake here. He needs to do that in the chicane probably, unless he can uh, really stress C out and chase him into a mistake. This is the part where you have a chance at overtaking. They both touch the wall a bit. Lager in the meantime crashed. So he's fallen back to P5. I did not expect that, but it happens. And like I said, it's hard to come back here. So that's why consistency is more important. Frost and C are fighting and it's still 1 meter. Frost goes a bit wide there. Oh, and he touches the curb. And that's it for his race, I think. C can go really safe now. Frost and Erzu are gonna be fighting for second, because Erzu has managed to pass Frost with that. So 3 to go. C is 30 meters ahead. He can just stay out of every wall and every apex. Doesn't need to risk anymore. Erzu's having a bit of a bad line here. He manages to defend so far. Can Frost find a way around on this track? This could be important points for C. 2 laps to go. It's a feature race, so second and third have a 4-point difference, if I recall correctly. Oh, and Erzu hits the curb the same time Frost did it last time. So that's it for Erzu's race. Now Powerade and Lager are really close. C is gonna be running away with it. There's only 1 lap to go. Unless he crashes, there's no coming back for Frost. But Powerade and Lager are really close to each other, and Erzu isn't far either in case of a mistake. Nick is 200 meters behind. Okay. I don't know what happened. He's gonna be on pole, I guess. Lager runs a bit wide, and yeah, probably that's it for the race. Unless something happens in these final 2 turns, which I kind of doubt. Yep, Powerade is gonna be finishing 4th, and Lager 5th. And Nick is gonna stroll in last. But he's gonna have the pole for the next race. So Nick is gonna be starting the race again. I do wonder if he's gonna be doing it like Erzu did. Or if he's gonna wait more. This is a fairly short formation lap. It's also kind of a top speed track. So we're gonna be getting to the final turn soon. Although it's not that much shorter. It just feels shorter than other tracks, I'd say. And the safety car is heading into the pits now. Nick is gonna be starting the race already, so I think it's almost as fast as Erzu. Although Erzu basically did it instantly as the safety car was in the pits. Nick is leading, Lager is right behind. The race is not that long, so if Nick gets a bit of an advantage at the start, I think he has a decent chance so long as he cannot crash. I feel like at this point Nick is building for the sprint races. This is similar to how he did it for best laps in the endurance championship he had. After his races are... Oh, I'm sorry, Nick makes a mistake. He's gonna be bumped as well, and he's now lost. That's not a long-lived lead. Now Lager is in the lead, and it's basically 2 wide for second. The whole pack is together. This is basically NASCAR pack racing at this point. Ayers is looking to the inside of C, meanwhile C is passing Lager, Powerade. And now he's right behind Lager, but Erzu is also there. Powerade is gonna be, shuffled out of the order. And he's back in fifth, but the fight is still on ahead. So he's still not out of this. And Nick is maybe getting a bit closer because of this fight. Lager is still leading. C is second, Erzu is third. Oh, C is looking everywhere. He's trying to go around. Oh, there's a bit of a fight in the left-hander there. Frost dies in the meantime, but C gets the lead, almost pushing Lager into the curb. There was just enough space for the two of them. And now Erzo is on the back of Lager. Ooh, Erzo's having lag. Erzo's having lag. It seems like he's back. Yes, he is. Although he did clip the curb without seeing it, me seeing it on my screen, but he's he's not having teleporting issues now, so that's better. 2 laps to go. Frost has fallen all the way to 6, but he's still fighting Nick. Basically, you can see the whole field here, although we might not see if Erzu passes Lager. It seems like he won't. Erzu makes a mistake as well. In the meantime, Frost got by Nick. So Powerade is on the back of Erzu. He's gonna have the inside into the final turn. Erzu's touching the wall. I think they're still a bit next to each other, but Erzu has the ability to block now. 1 lap to go. They are on the final lap. There's one chicane left. Well, it's not much of a chicane, but one slower turn. Oh, Frost is right next to Powerade. Powerade and Erzu are side by side as well. Powerade is holding the inside. Frost is not going to be able to make that, but he's doing the over-under. Is he going to make it work? Yes, he is. And as such, Frost is going to finish fourth, and Nick was right behind him. Behind them. Well, that was a close race. I think, despite having quite a few people in this lobby, they're really close pace-wise. So we still get a lot of action. So C is gonna be in the lead. Frost is second. And they are the ones who are kind of fighting for the victory in the session. Although I don't really know the points at this point. Well, that sounded weird. Anyway, I don't really know the points as of now. But they're definitely the ones close. Oh, and Frost makes a mistake there. And Lager gets second, even before C started, I think. That's, as far as I could see, that was completely on Frost. Lager is running wide there into the gravel. And C is also making mistakes. Whoa, Frost and C run into the same mistake. And C gets off first. Nick gets the lead because of this. Frost and Lager right behind. Lager almost runs off there. There's a bit of a gap between the grass and the asphalt, so you really don't want to do that. Powerade is watching all these fights from the back. She's not having a strong start after starting first, but Frost and Lager make the same mistake as C and Frost did in the previous lap, and Frost spins in the gravel. So now he's 30 meters behind and has a bit of a deficit to overcome. Nick is leading Erzu second. If C could pass Erzu at least, and maybe even Nick, that would be important in terms of points. Because Frost is having a bad race right now. Nick is still leading and is kind of pulling away. Erzu and C are fighting for second. Oh, so he's running wide in the final turn, and he almost clipped the edge of the asphalt. Ers is gonna run into the gravel. He doesn't lose much time there. Whoa. There is a shortcut on this track that is not allowed in this session. Well, it's not explicitly in the rules, but I expect people not to do it, and otherwise things might happen. Because shortcut is really unintended and really inconvenient, also could mess you up. Oh, Erzu makes a mistake in the meantime, so see was side by side with him, he couldn't go past. Oh, I thought he clipped the asphalt a bit. It seems like he stayed on. But C is very close. Where's Frost? It's 50 meters back. Okay. That I did not expect Erz to hit the curb, I think, on the inside. So now C is in second, which is what I was talking about. It's important point, and it doesn't seem like Frost is coming back. Power is running third. That's probably his best feature race running position yet. Ooh, he's making mistakes though. And that's quite big. Frost is right behind him now, so Frost might be able to make some places back. I'm not sure if C is running for second or first. He might be running quite conservatively in this race at this point, but he just did a 29.893, so I don't think that's the case. Yeah, it seems like he's running all out. He's trying to catch Nick or maybe chase him into a mistake. And in the meantime, oh, Erzu also made a mistake. Okay, so the fight between Powerade and Frost is now for fourth, and Frost is already passed. I'm sorry I missed this, but this means that Frost won't be losing as many points unless he makes a mistake in the final lap. He did a 29.6, that's his best lap though. And Nick has crashed in from first. An unexpected crash, and now C is 7 meters ahead. So the point I was talking about is gonna be extended again. Because Nick is not gonna be winning this race. And that's gonna mean 5 more points for C. Frost had a horrible race compared to his other ones here. Especially featured races. On the other hand, he had possibly the best lap. And he has a decent starting spot for the sprint race. Okay, Freslag on the front row, easy safety car. See, it's gonna run off the track there. What happened? Erdo is starting first. Is he stable now? Yeah, it does seem like his car is stabilized. He's gonna be starting in the back, so it didn't affect other cars anyway. And I'm gonna be pulling off in the final turn. Let's see if Erzu keeps up with his start the last time. Yes, he's starting immediately. I think he does understand the rules, but he just wants to go as soon as possible. That's kind of a racing spirit. And C makes the mistake this time. Not Frost in the first lap. I mean, second lap of the full race. So Frost is now second and can gain some points back on C. Although in this one, each position only means 1 point. So, Erzu's running first. Can Frost have a better race than last time? C is 20 meters behind. He makes a spin. I think it was the same spot. He had the spin in the same spot as the previous lap. So now he's very far behind and Frost is chasing down Erzu. He can potentially win the race. 29.8. He had a 29.6 as best lap in the previous race, but I don't think Erzu is coming anywhere close to that. And on this track, you have many overtaking spots, although Lager is right behind and he did a 29.9 and he's on the inside, a bit of a bump, so he's not gonna be past Frost and Frost is not gonna be past Erzu, although it got really close. Can Frost make a pass there? Erzu's running wide, he basically wallbanged, but also because he ran wide. So I'm not sure what the take would be there, the takeaway, but he's still running first in race, and that's what matters. Not anymore though, cause Frost just made the pass, and Nick is gonna get past as well, or Lager too. So Erz just lost 3 places in like 3 turns. It's unfortunate for him, and that's especially true, cause there's 1 lap to go now. See, he's 30 meters behind Powerade. I don't think he has a chance at coming back. So it's Frost, Nick, Lager, Erzu, but Erzu makes a mistake. Lager is fighting Nick. Oh, he's gonna do the over under. No, because Nick is coming back into him. Erzu is still ahead of Powerade. Nick hit the side of the curb on the track, and that was a horrible. That was his mistake. He's gonna be ending third. I don't think he'll be happy with that, cause he could have had second. He really could have. The formation lap is gonna be like 55 seconds, around that. They have time to organize, that's for sure. Although they usually do that on the front straight, especially since there's only 6 racers. It would be interesting to pull off earlier here, but like it's not agreed upon, and I don't know where it would even happen because the track is tight, there's walls all around. It's a straight circuit. Oh no! The safety car has crashed. It happened again, but this time it's a bit different. Anyway, the safety car did manage to enter the pits. And Frost, Lager, Erzu, Powerade. I don't know if that messed up the order a bit. Erzu's pulling back behind Powerade. Okay. Where's Nick? Nick is lagging. He's still in the race. That's good. So Frost is gonna be leading. There's a gentleman's agreement, so it seems like they are committing to it, all of them. Here comes the U-turn. Lager is on the inside. It touched the curb a bit. Okay. He's having a decent lap compared to his quali time, I think. Or Frost is having a worse one. To be fair, that lap time by Frost in the quali was insane. It's a 42.5. I'm wondering if anyone could come close to it in terms of best laps. Lager did a 43.4. That would have got second on the grid, to be honest. He did get second, okay. So he only did 0.2 better than his own attempt. He makes a mistake though, so Nick is now behind. And C is right behind Nick. Which means he's past Erzu and Powerade. This is the hard part, and they all survive. Powerade too. He's a bit behind them. He probably crashed somewhere already. And the same thing is true for Erzu. So it's Frost, Lager, Nick, C. And the fight is for second. Lager seems to have some pace, but not enough to pull away from Nick and C. And Nick is attacking. I think that was a bit of a bump and run there. At least I saw it as Nick pushing Lager into the U-turn. Oh, Nick is gonna die in the chicane. C is gonna also ride the curb on the inside. However, he manages to survive and even pass Lager with that. He got lucky there. He got quite lucky. Frost is 70 meters ahead. That's like one crash, so with 3 to go, that's not that much. Let's see if he can hold on. Oh, this is probably one of the hardest turns. A downhill right turn into left. Basically a downhill chicane coming at full speed. But you somehow have to keep balance. He messes up the last chicane. And now Erzu is third and Lager is second. So if Frost crashes, Lager has an opportunity. We're back to the starting grid somewhat. In terms of Frost, Lager, Erzu and C. The remaining two people are fighting for fifth actually. I think Nick is reversing though. Yep, he's reversing. So, Erzu's still running third, right in front of C. It will be interesting if Frost can make it around safely, because there's a bit more than one lap to go. He's 90 meters ahead, that's still a single mistake. Let's see if they make the chicane. Frost does it, Lager does it, Erzu does it, C does it. And Nick is reversing, okay. So, Nick should be ignored for the rest of this race. 90 meters between Frost and Lager. And Erzu is right in front of C. That's gonna come down to the final chicane. Lager makes a small mistake here, I think. Frost is now 30 ahead. C passes Erzu in the U-turn. So it's gonna come down to this. Can Erzu make it really good? Yes, he can! That was really nice and C made a mistake there. So Erzu is back in third. And again, this is important points, because Fisher race means more points difference between each position. Powerade is gonna be finishing 5th, and Nick is gonna reverse in 6th. This is the last race. Nick has already gone into first, which is his pole position. This is a long formation lap. I think Nick still has a chance. He needs to be a bit more consistent, especially because this track is hard. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna stream the points count as well, by request. I was considering doing that. This time I didn't crash in the chicane with the safety car. Oh, Powerade got really close there. But, okay, C is pulling back in line. The race is underway. Edu started in front of Lager, but Lager passed him on the straight with a better start. And Powerade is second still, but C is right behind. This then could be interesting. Nick and Powerade both make a mistake, and now C is jumping into the lead. And Powerade is falling back into last, but here comes the chicane. Oh no, this could be chaotic. Only C crashes, and it seems like that was on his own. Powerade kind of pushed Frost into the wall. So it's Frost C in last, and this is a fairly short race. So I'm interested if any of the top 4 can pull off a victory here. I'm pretty sure Frost and C didn't win all races before, but they've won a lot. And they fought for first a lot. Nick makes a mistake in the turn, so now Lager is gonna be first. And the Nick is right in front of Frost, so Frost still has 4 people to pass. Oh, into the chicane! Nick makes a curb. Nick makes a curb, yes. That should be a new phrase for that. Because it's the second time this session that he flew into air on the broadcast. and he might have done that a bunch more when he wasn't being streamed. Anyway, Lager is leading Ersu, and there's a bit more than 1.5 laps left. The more important parts are this one. Ersu's like made it look weird, but he survived it. And Frost is now in third in front of Powerade. The other and more important part is the chicane, which Ersu does mess up. C is gonna be running right behind, but it doesn't manage to pass him. So now Lager first, Frost second. Powerade right behind. 1 to go. Can Lager hold on? It might be best to run safe, although Frost did a 42.8. Oh, bit of a wall brush there. At least as we saw it. There too. Frost is gonna be riding the inside in the U-turn. Lager still has 6 meters. It's gonna come down to the chicane. He's running really safe there. He touches the wall. But that shouldn't matter. It seems like Lager is gonna win. Behind them, C is gonna be ahead of Ersu. And Nick is gonna finish last. Lager wins, Frost second, Powerade third in the final race. And Nick has just finished. No, he went for the pits.